Okay, I'm back. I should be recording to the right file. Let's see if this responds through the correct streaming device, whatchamacallem. So I suppose I'll just give that a few seconds. I'm not sure. I don't think my stream is acting on a delay. It says it's loading the video right now. I'm not sure. I don't think my stream is acting on a delay. It says it's loading the video right now. I'm not sure. I don't think my stream is acting on a delay. It says it's loading the video right now. I could layer it like a song. I'm not sure. I don't think my stream is acting on a delay. It says it's loading the video right now. I could layer it like a song. I'm not sure. I don't think my stream is acting on a delay. It says it's loading the video right now. I could layer it like a song. I'm not sure. I don't think my stream is acting on a delay. It says it's layer it like a song. That's enough of that. It's enough fun with echo. So let's get this party started. It's just recording for YouTube, by the way. But I might as well stream it. I'm gonna close that. Can you see that fraps counter on the... Nah, you can't. It's fine. Hello everyone, this is a cast. I promised last week that I would finish the Croatia versus Austria game, the first or second half, whichever bit I didn't cast from last week. This is the steel portion, where last week was the bad water portion, and we have Austria attacking first and Croatia defending. We're going to see where Vexter decides to set up. Teams wishing their GLHF is F's. Do you like that I've got some outlines, by the way? Because that's good. Average division for Austria is 5.1 and average division for Croatia is 4.0, which favours Croatia right now. I suppose that's just averaging out to the divisions of their players, so slight advantage for Croatia in terms of numbers, but we saw a very close game on Badwater between both of the teams. And I'm talking very fast today. I must have been that chocolate muffin filled me with energy. We're seeing Vexter set up on A point with his sentry here, which is, as I drink a glass of water, which is not really the standard meta that's evolved for CP Steel. Generally you want to, or most engineers at least, put a sentry on B with some friends acting around it. Otherwise the attacking team have the opportunity to go all the way around E. I'm just going to get on an important camera. Let's get on Metkrieger going out of here. Has no few models right now. That is just a thing that happens, don't worry. He's just going to be hanging around here. Maybe waiting for a buff, just going to spam out of the top here, but getting taken down by his own spam as well. That is a pause going down because Payne, the Austrian scout, crashed just at the start of the round. We're going to be back very shortly. Even shorter, in fact, as I will be skipping the time. But that's going to be... Scout is fairly important on offense here, as you need him for capping that E point before C point is capped. He's one of the only classes who can do that. A few classes can do it, but you know, that's what I mean. We still have all the level 3 and everything set up on A point from the Croatian team right here. I don't think they even have anything watching B, as far as I know. I can check using the outlines actually. I don't see anything around that side of the map. So yeah, they are putting all of their faith in this A point defense, and as a result, we do have Payne. As soon as he got back into the server, he hopped onto the E point, trying to put some pressure off that and drag players away from defending A point. And he does get the demo man to focus on him. So if Austria can focus on that for a while and use that distraction, and they have a little bit, and Payne is back on the point as the defending team decide to go back onto A. Most of the Austrian team are dead at this point. But if they had managed to put enough pressure on either point, then that would have been quite effective, but it just seemed like an odd sort of push. It didn't quite catch what happened to it, but Steel is a map where you've got to sort of flip-flop your offense, sort of target E a little bit, and then while they're defending E, focus on A, and vice versa and everything. I'm sorry for my frame rate, by the way, it's just a little bit slow. I'm using I'm using Open Broadcast Service to record this instead of Fraps, which means I can record for longer but less consistently. Tell me what you think of it. I should get back to the game. We do have Domper and Kruger, some sort of semi-pick classes, pick and intelligence and minor holding, I suppose, down for Croatia at the moment, as oh, that is 4 players down for Croatia right now, and 100% for Kufurl, so it looks like they're going to want to take this pretty fast. Vexter getting taken down, that is a big deal, as the sentry is going to go down far more easily, even though Candle tried to reflect those stickies, but it's not going to work when he's just on his own. And the counter Uber does get popped in, but the sentry's already down. McKrieger is going to get out of there as fast as he can. Manny is hanging around the spawn of B at this point, getting taken down by Kruger, just hanging around there. Kufurl is here with Metkrieger, his demo man, and Weinsey is out behind the enemy team. He does manage to get Vexter, the engineer, which is going to slow down the defense significantly. They're not going to get that sentry set up for another half minute or so at the least, and this defense is in somewhat disarray right here, as we do have quite a lot of crazy stuff happening. They've forced the Croatian defending team all the way into this little choke here, and the Croatian team have decided to pull all of their players away to B. They realise that they can't defend it at this point and just want to get a good defense up here. I want to see where the well, they seem to have caught a flanking level 2 sentry and dispenser, but they get taken down pretty easily without getting any kills. And there is not much offense out here. I can tell from the outlines that apart from Payne putting some offense from the main choke from spawn, it looks like the entire Austrian combo are wrapping around through E. Not deciding to put anyone actually on the point to drag it away, which is an odd decision. It's what I would have done personally, but they probably know what they're doing more than I do. And Private Meta is going to take most of this Uber coming in here. He's going to get air blasted by Candle a little bit, but he's going to go all the way in, air blast Candle himself, and take down the sentry, I believe. There we go. Which is Druki, only just respawned. Koki is also down, but Metkrieger and Private Meta both down for the Austrian attacking team right now. Payne getting taken down as well. And there are not insignificant picks on the Croatian team, and that is Chucks getting out of position and only healing his scout, getting taken down by a nice little bomb from Muku. And that is only 4 players up for the Croatian defending team, 2 players up. So it looks like Austria should be able to defend this, to cap this even themselves pretty well, but Flagzeu is in this little upper room, going to get spammed out by Metkrieger and getting caught out, trapped in this little room. Is going to get taken down by Payne. And that is a 4-minute time for both A and B. It isn't amazing, but it's not particularly terrible either. And they're going to try and take this offense all the way into the C point, I think. Let's see what kind of defense they have set up here. No sentry as of yet, it looks like. And the players playing quite far back, but they're just going to take this offense all the way in. They have a slight Uber advantage, but they just want an off-Uber push. They've already got some presence on the point. No one really paying attention to Payne right there. Gets a little bit of a shot on the medic, but nothing significant. Manny is setting up a level 3 sentry, but it's going to be a while before he can wrangle that into completion. Kufurl is getting caught out by Candle, gets taken down, but Chucks went down as well to Payne. So Ubers have equalized, both medics went down, and only 4 players up for Croatia. So it looks like Austria should be able to cap this if they just get their spawn camps in and get enough players in. But their Dimmerman has timed out, so that is going to be a significant nerf to their push, I suppose, as Vexter does get taken down by Tommy, and Druki also getting taken down. Tommy doing good work. But it looks like a bit of a solidification of the defense from the Croatian defending team, which is impressive, honestly. But it looks like they're going to want to pause for the Austrian team to get their second timed out player this round, which is quite unfortunate, all the way back into the server, because that must have really hindered their push right there, as they couldn't cap, even though there were only 2 or 3 players up for the Croatian team. But C point is a reasonable hold on CP Steel. But what they really should be doing is putting some pressure onto the E point. Payne or Muku, even I think Private Meta could detonate a jump onto it just to get something up there to draw some players away. Because I don't think there are any. I don't think there are any players from the Austrian, not the Croatian team even, defending E right now. No one watching it, as far as I could tell. Maybe there was a spy or something going out there, but definitely nothing big. But we do have only 6 no, 7 players in, and Payne and Metkrieg are both only just rejoining. Sentry is going up there, Metkrieg is going to get back. And Manny has the Wrangle level 3, just locking down this point. The Croatian team seems sort of trapped in spawn, but they're going to make their way out a little bit here and get aggressive up. And that is Kufurl getting taken down by Domper, Tommy getting taken down. Oh, people died. That's all you need to know. Chucks has Uber, and that is 100% advantage that he gets right here. Manny gets taken down with the level 3 sentry gun. And Kufurl is just hanging back here. It's going to get bombed a little bit, but denied by the heavy and Muku. Muki? Okay, and that is the sentry getting pressured a bit by Winesy, but they're going to get taken down by Candle. Chucks is just defending with the rest of his team here. And again, no pressure on E. The Uber gets popped actually from Chucks, which is an odd choice. That's going to give Kufurl a 35% advantage. Juki catching out the enemy heavy, but manages to swap kills, which is probably not particularly good for the Croatian team right now, as they are at an Uber disadvantage and they'll want to get as many players still alive as they want. And now there is something. Payne is putting that pressure onto the E point, just trying to draw players off as much as he can, and no one is dealing with him right now. If they don't do that quickly, it's just a spy dealing with him and a scout from the other side. Payne's going to get out of there, but he's already pulled 2 players away from the E point, which is good work. If they put enough pressure onto that E point, then they will force the Croatian team to get back and do something that they don't particularly want to do. That is Metkrieg getting taken down in an orthodox way by the Croatian spy Domper, but it works, I guess, and that is a scout. I like this setup here. Manny just defending his scout, but if he gets taken down by Danya, then it's not going to be as effective, as Payne will have to get out because he doesn't have that mini sentry defending him, because Engineer went, but he's just going to go straight back on there and then leave. That is not insignificant time on the E point. A lot of things are not insignificant to me, apparently, but we're going to need Candle's running a detonator. Apparently he wants to watch the point a little bit. You could detonate to jump onto that if you wanted to. Druki is at quite low health. Chucks to about 80% advantage. That is quite significant for them here. And Vexter only just respawned and getting back to the sentry, which appears to be on very low health, but I'm not sure because HUDs don't show that. Oh, I wish there was a plugin for that. At this E point, presumably that's Payne again. Yep, but Payne is putting as much pressure onto this as he can. He gets detonated, but he doesn't have that much help right now. Only now the sentry is going up with some more help. If they can get a proper mini push onto here. But look how many players they've distracted onto this point. If they get a good push into C at this point, there is very little watching it. And I'm in a cinematic camera, but look at this. This is good work. They put their pressure on E, and my camera work is terrible. They put the pressure onto E, and then they put the proper C push. And this Uber Pyro, they were at a big Uber disadvantage, and still 100% disadvantage, and that Pyro is just going to clear the point, but is already almost half capped. Candle is going to get caught out a little bit here, I think. He does get taken down by Private Meta, and this doesn't look terrible for the Austrian team. They can solidify this, I think, if they just get enough time in. But they are at a massive player disadvantage. There was Kruger apparently getting double kill onto Metkrieger and Tommy, and it looks like, again, the Croatian team will be able to solidify, just not the spawn camps that are necessary through these corridors for a good offense onto the C point, CP Steel. Wisey is just hanging around, just get caught out by Candle, is going to get taken down. And that is E point. Is that Payne? I bet that's Payne. I bet you that's Payne. That is Payne, and he's drawn the heavy away. That is a big advantage. If they can get that kind of pressure on while Mr. Sorry. If they can get that kind of pressure onto E while they have a large amount of Uber, then that is going to be extremely good for the offense. And this sentry is on very low health, but Vexter is going to be very, very a stalwart engineer, just singularly defending the C point for a moment there. Manny's going to peek through a crack in the rocks. And there are still not that many players up here. A sort of scattered defense. They seem to be holding much farther up than they were previously, in the more B-style corridors than DC connector. And they're at a slight disadvantage, but the Uber being popped right as there is a force in here, both Ubers being popped, I think. Red Uber coming in behind the blue Uber, which is an odd situation to get into, as it's only Met Krieger onto the point. There is no one else there for the Austrian push, which is going to be another failed push. Mission ends in 60 seconds, the entire thing, which is a long time to be defending C. Just a few little mistakes for the Austrian team, and they could have been doing quite a lot better there, but this isn't nearly the end. They could be making an E cap would be reasonable at this point, but if they just go for C, then that is okay as well. I think that's Payne on the point again. Looks like they are going for that C cap, but no, apparently they're just going in for C, just all rushing in here. This push is away from the Uber, but neither team have Uber, and they have good player advantage. At least they are pushing in cohesively as an entire team, and they do have the spawn camps in here from a soldier. That is going to lock them down quite significantly, and they do have Met Krieger spamming out into that. So it does look like they've solidified the C point at least, which is impressive. If they'd made that kind of push a few minutes ago, it would have been even better, but better late than never. And as HB going to get Ubered just before death, right to the spawn of the Croatian defending team. Candle is just going to try and waste this Uber as much as possible, and they're going to get caught out in these little hallways and just get cleaned up by the rest of the Croatian team. But Croatian team have a lot of casualties right now. If they put enough pressure in the appropriate places from the Austrian team, then they can do enough to possibly take the rest of this round in the next 2.5 minutes. Chuck's popped his Uber onto the point, but it's not particularly effective, just going to take down Private Meta. Maybe Private Meta popped it himself. Forced a pop, as the business term is. And that's a 12-minute time for 3 points, which is long, very long. And Cookie can't quite get the shot onto Kufel, which is going to be... Whoa, he gets the shot onto Muku. And Private Meta. And Manny, and probably going to take down this sentry as well by the time he gets to it. So Koki just almost one man defending the point. This sentry is doing a terrible amount right here. Maybe Vexter is picking out help. We're going to put it in a better position here where it actually watches the point. Kufil has Uber. I want to get on his camera right here. Let's see what he does with that. I'm going to get on Met Krieger. He's probably going to be taking some of his Uber, but they are getting spammed out very early. Met Krieger only at 50 health when he gets popped. Just going to take the health back, or try to as he goes in. But they are going to get very little space out here. Met Krieger is going to go around the top and try to spam out from this slightly elevated position. He does get fairly good damage. Chucks it down to 50 health, and he does get the Uber force. But they are just running all the way in here. Super's going to get wasted a little bit by Private Meta, which is pretty good work. They force the pop, but they need to get more space into here. They need to re-push with the picks that they just got and take their advantage. They're at the same... Yeah, no one dropped. It looks like that for me for some reason sometimes. Sorry. So that's... if they can take care of that heavy out the top there, then that'll be very significant for them. Manny is still around here. Takes down Dania, but he's not going to be able to deal with that heavy. They just haven't focus fired him at all. They do have 4 players on here, but they need some kind of spawn camps. And that is the heavy and spy already coming out here, as well as the pyro and the demo man, and now they're just at a big heightened disadvantage. So they may be able to get this point, but it looks like it's just getting cleared too much in the next 25 seconds. They need to get that extra bit of cap time. If they just don't have the players, they need to take this height advantage or draw the players to E, as I've been saying this entire round. Kufil is going to get caught out a little bit by Dania. Does get the Uber sword, but he's going to get taken down, which is a 55-60% advantage for Chucks on the Croatian team. Candle and the rest of... what I mentioned Candle particularly? To be honest, I'm not sure. But the rest of the Croatian team just defending D entirely. Very little attention being paid to E this entire round, and that is a defense without even capping D or E from the Austrian attacking team. So Austria are going to have to pull out a really good defense, or Croatia are going to have to make some big mistakes on this offense if they're going to get anything done, particularly here. And Vexter is going to set up his sentry and spawn. That's a nice thing. The outlines are wrong. That annoys me. I'm going to see where Manny is setting up his sentry, also on A, in pretty much the same spot as Vexter was. I guess with both teams not putting that much pressure on on E even, it makes sense to not do so. But we have no guarantee yet of Croatia not putting some offense onto E, so I'm not sure what they're going to have watching that. Let's just cycle through, see if anyone's doing that. They do have Pain, just a scout watching and going to call out if anything comes in here. I'm going to HUD reload scheme, so it's going to be a bit laggy for a second here. Let's see if that fixed the medic thing with the wrong outline. It did not, I'm sorry, but you can all assume that the red medic among all the blue players is the other medic, the correct medic, as it were. That is sniper? Nah. Muka is also watching the B point, and it's going to get a bit of pressure here. Already there are players, Croatia, trying to put their flank out onto here, but Dania gets taken down, as well as quite a lot of significant players for the Croatian team. So this isn't looking too bad for Austria right now. They seem to have defense set up around here. Spy is in position. No, he gets taken down by Private Meta, but Winesy and Dania are both going around the B point here. Apparently, no one has started. Oh, he just cloaked behind. Dania wasn't there at all. Winesy, that's the wrong one. Chucks is taking his Uber all the way up to the top here. Probably going to pop us fairly soon to get in as far as they can, rather than hang around the choke point. But it looks like they're getting some pretty good damage. HP was down to about 100 health there. But they are quite defended right here. This sentry is still watching the right side, and they're just not getting the right pressure in. Maybe if they get something to get onto E point. I should stop mentioning E point, I sound so repetitive, but the Uber does get popped onto the heavy. It's going to tank the sentry somewhat and not finish off the pyro quite yet, but he's going to get backstabbed anyway. And that is not a great Uber, it looks like. It's just going to get wasted a bit by Candle before Candle gets taken down. Heavy gets distracted by the spy and then disconnected, and this Demoman's just going to get spammed out by the combined of the blue soldier and Demoman, and they're just going to be watching that space, spamming it as much as they can, as it's going to be an A cap. I wonder if they're going to go through E, similarly to what the Austrian team did. It does not look like they're doing that. They're going to go through the drop down, which can be quite dangerous, but it seems to have been fine for them right here. We have a flanking soldier, see what he can do while they get their aggression in here. He does get caught out, probably going to die there. It's got an appropriate camera. Kuki Koki is in quite a good spot, and all this space is free, but he does get taken down by Tommy. If they can get aggressive enough here and force them back into this spawn area, Kruger can't quite take down anyone. If they can get just enough space in here, there's a level 3 being set up. If they can push far enough from the Croatian attacking team, then they will be able to take this point, because the Austrian team are playing a very far back game. The sentry is already down, Manny is down as well, so the sentry won't be going back up. They've really forced them back somewhat, and if they just get the cap time, if they get the positioning to get into this, then they can really work off that advantage. Both teams have Uber, and the red one is popped slightly before on the Demoman, just getting somewhat body blocked by the heavy, and they're just going to get out of there and try to defend C as much as they can. Private Meta getting caught out and taken down as well, so that's going to be pretty good for the Croatian attacking team, already capping 2 points in about 4 minutes, which was similar to what Austria did, but Austria spent another 8 minutes or so, like 6 minutes attacking C, and there is someone on E. Is it the scout? Is it the scout? It is the scout. It's Dania putting that pressure on E point, drawing away players, and he's only drawn the soldier so far, but that's still not insignificant. He does get taken down, and they're just gearing up for a push from the lower area. Looks like that's an odd positioning choice. And that sentry is going up in the same spot as the other engineer. I'm seeing a bit of a pattern here. So let's go on the camera. That's important. Quite a lot of pressure onto here. Is that Dania again? I'm going to assume Dania is putting that pressure onto the point here. Draws away the scout. He's going to win that battle. No, he is not going to. But he has already drawn 2 players off. The sap comes in, but not as the push goes. Kruger has gone behind, and he forces the enemy med. That is good work from Kruger, and that is going to be a wasted Uber. Chuck's down to very low health and has been popped in response by pain. So both Ubers wasted right there, but both medics are alive. So it looks like a solidified defense, as I keep saying, from Austria. But that's the thing with Steel. Every time you think you're comfortable, E starts to get capped, and they're going to have to pull players off. It looks like they have quite a significant presence on E right here. If they put enough presence in the right places, then they can really do something advantageous with this. And the sentry does get up to watch that. Flags you just respawn to get into there, and that E is capped almost halfway now. But Druki does get taken down, and the heavy just being trying to tank that damage, and he could not. The medic is somewhat alone here, and this E cap is so significant right now that they could almost do it entirely here. The entire Austrian team have just realized that they need to solidify this, but come on, can you? I want this cap to happen because E caps are beautiful. The Uber does get popped off on the soldier. It's not going to do an awful amount here, but they just don't have any classes here that can jump onto the point from the Croatian team. So they're just going to, I think they might just wrap around to C. That's what they're doing. They've got so much pressure on E that they've been forced to defend it from, the Austrian team have been forced to move off and defend it, and now they can get those spawn camps in and cap the C point, and they have to cap that one C point or E within the next 6 minutes, and they've already got very good positioning to do so and good cap time from the rest of their players, so this is looking pretty good for them, as the Austrian team maybe don't realize. I find it really difficult to know when we don't make complete rounds and how to play them, but that is going to be one round won by the Croatian team, and well deserved, I would say, as well. Vexter joined Team Blue? What? Are they? They're switching teams, switching sides, switching allegiances, and in many ways switching genders. And that is going to be the end of this demo, I think. So I'm going to load up the next one and get you back into playing as soon as I possibly can. This looks correct. Plugins unloaded, and Austria are attacking first this time, Croatia defending. Which, is that the same way it happened last time, or not? Because I can't remember. Genuinely, was it Austria attacking last? Because Austria attacked and then got... Yeah, Austria was attacking last time as well, which is odd. And I worry that I've got these in the wrong order. However, I'm gonna continue. Vexter is again setting up on A point, trying to get his dispenser up as soon as he can, and his sentry as well, in the same spot as all the sentries have been so far. Wonder if there are any big sticky traps from Flags U. He's just hanging out at the top here, trying to deny as much area from the high ground as he can.
Mission begins in 10 seconds.
And it's just funny times, isn't it? Don't you love fun? I hate fun. I'm an engineer, of course I hate fun. Tommy's going to be watching. He takes down Candle instantly. That's going to be pretty good, but I doubt they could push off it instantly. Muku's just going to spam out that way, apparently, and that sentry's getting spammed out somewhat as well, but the red heavy Druki is just watching the left entrance while the sentry covers the right, and I want to see if there's any pressure on E, because that is what's going to break this defense. But Danya is just here watching, and there is nothing else around, no one even attempting to go that way so far, so they can put their full defense onto A. Tommy does get a nice little headshot, and going to take down the Spencer as well, as a lot of players down for Croatia, and they're going to get their Uber forced, maybe just regularly popped, and the entire, well, not the entire team, but the Austrian team are deciding to push up the left side, and it's worked for them. They have got loads and loads of picks, only 2 players up now for Croatia, gone all the way to A, so that's going to be a pretty swift A cap here. I am wondering, as they spawn, yeah, Flagsu is deciding to put a sticky trap up on the other side. Druki and the rest, or most of the rest of the Croatian team, only just respawning in time to get back up here. That sentry is in a very far forward position, but doesn't look... I'm wondering where the rest of the blue team are, because their outlines seem to have disappeared. Ah, yes, the outlines have gone. 1 second. Add toggle outline 1. That didn't work. Bear with me, folks. This is all of the stuff that I have to go through before I start any cast with the outlines on them. So I hope you appreciate them. And now we can see that the blue combo are coming all the way through E. Maybe that sticky trap will be effective. A Candle gets blasted into the pit. Yes, he blasted into the pit, but he does force the Uber. Both Ubers have been popped actually, and Candle's going to get all the way in here. No, Private Meta even, and Kufel gets taken down by Kruger, which is going to be given a 50% advantage or so to a very far back kind of defense, just coming back from Croatia. I seem to think every defense is far back. I'm sorry. I'm still confused, to be honest, but it's fine. Just gone for a regular low ground push from spawn. It looks like from the team with the names, with the Austrians. It only just occurred to me I could make some sort of cheap Hitler joke about the Austrians, something about like great war leaders coming from Austria. I don't know. I don't really want to make that joke, so I'm just going to leave it. Muku is going to get caught out here. Flags you with some sort of double kill at least. A lot of players down. Candle getting taken down by Winesy. Payne and Winesy also going down. That is a lot of deaths for both teams, and the defense somewhat in disarray for that team, for every team. Only 3 players up, but fully overhealed Heavy with his medic is quite a significant way, but they are only 2 people, and they are getting somewhat trapped into their spawn here, being spammed out by Medkrieger, which is going to be a pretty good job. Winesy gets taken down, but they're really forcing them back here. Flags you is quite far forward and quite low health. They're going to just put them all the way into their spawn, and that is Manny is on Kruger, but Kruger gets takes him down, and looks like Payne isn't really done with that point yet. And the Ubersaw, Kufil gets an Ubersaw from Domper, and he gets one. Oh, getting taken down by Cocky. That could have been frag-vid material, but the entire Croatian team was there, so never mind that, I suppose. Juki is hanging about at the normal spot with everyone else. Cookie is going to Girardi himself, and Danya is around, hanging around the flank with a fair few Austrian flank players, but they do have quite a well-rounded defense from Croatia here. They realize that they have to cover all the entrances. Both teams are starting to realize that a bit better now, as they are forcing back the enemy team pretty well. Private Meta, I think, forces that Uber from Chucks and gets taken down himself, which is going to give a good 50% advantage there for the team with the thing. And the sentry gets taken down by Danya, as well as Danya taking down Winesy and Kruger taking down Tommy. There's going to be a few people down. Winesy isn't dead, that was a dead ringer, and I'm going to take a drink. It's okay if I take a drink when neither medics have Uber, because obviously nothing is going to happen except for the Austrian team pushing all the way up into the enemy spawn again, and apparently tracking them all the way in there. So they're probably going to get forced out somewhat there, but they're not really getting that much cap resistance now. They are, and they're going to get this B point pretty well. I want to see if they've got any defense of C right now, and that is Chucks getting taken down by the good spawn camp of Mr. Soldier Man. I'm good with names. Where is point C? There it is. And already we've got Austria going all the way up here. There is a sentry, but it's going to be taken down very quickly, and Croatian team only just coming back. There are only 3 of them up now, about 7 of them up, and that is going to be a bit of a flanking heavy play, but he's going to get flanked himself and going to be saved by the Uber. Spawn camping Uber is an odd way to do it, but C is already being somewhat capped, and there is no Uber to push through the lines here. Flags you is going to get spammed out a little bit by Macroverb, and this just looks like all advantage for the Austrian team. This looks like a good little hold. If they can get enough pressure up in here, then that'll go well, but I've called things like that before and not shown them properly. E-point, meanwhile, this is a good play. This is good good cap from, I assume, Payne. Yeah, Payne is on point, and he got a significant amount of cap time while his team were busy with C. And even though the C offense didn't work, he could still draw players away. He still put pressure on there. He still split the defense, and that is again being capped. Is still being capped by the soldier Muku from Austria, and they've got pretty good cap time if they just play this well enough with their advantages, if they get enough pressure in here. But the heavy Uber did come in here, and I am not on the right camera whatsoever, but this looks like quite a good response from Croatia, and if Austria just come around the right way, they seem a bit keen to take the E-point. Macroverb and Payne both down, but Druki and Flagsu are also down. That's going to be very significant, and Manny almost single-handedly locking down the defense of the E-point, but it is only just getting respawned. That's Muku using the Pain Train, which is a nice idea, which I enjoy. And that medic is so out of position, but he doesn't seem to be getting forced for it. And meanwhile, C gets capped. And that's how you play Steel. Just E gets capped, team moves, cap C. You know, it's like the most not in a bad way, but it's the most childish-minded. Like, oh, you're gonna defend E? Well, we'll just cap C then. It's odd. And the pit, private meta fell in the pit. I like Steel, partly because it has a pit, and that is a lot of players on on D-point now. Vexter is going all the way in, but he's not going to take down the heavy on his own, and his sentry gets taken down as well. Uber gets forced, but they may be able to take this if they play smart enough. They are taking the high ground somewhat themselves, already going up straight on there, and they also have E being capped. Putting that dual pressure. Is that Muku on E-point? No, it is Manny. Manny with his single-handed sentry. There is a heavy here watching him. But he does manage to take down Druki, and is going to fall back probably for ammo or something. But now they have quite good cap time on both points, and Croatia is going to have to put their effort into defending both. It looks like this one is just D is going to get capped very quickly, and then they instantly have enough pressure on E to do it very fast as well. That is good play from the Austrian team. I really like how they've pushed their offense right here, and that is going to give them an overall time, because it's not possible that Croatia are going to stop this now. There are just too many players in here, even with the flanking Demo and Flagsu, and that is going to be a 9-minute time to cap all the points from the Austrian offense, which is pretty good. Like, that's not the fastest time you can get, but that is kind of average, I suppose. Much better than what they did last time. Let's get on that Krieger's camera. My voice is starting to hurt. So, it's a good trap. It's nice. Good trap, but he's being watched by Tommy, so they're gonna know where those are and just send Pyro or a short-circuit engineer or something set up that. Sentry's going up in the same spot. And who do they have watching E? I want to watch Vexter when this round starts. Remind me of that when the round starts. I'm not actually sure there's anyone watching the stream. Excuse me while I take a look at that. No, there is no one commenting or anything right now. I want to see if they've got anything on the B point. They have one scout watching it. Okay, let's get on Vexter's camera. See what he does with this level 3 sentry, because I am personally interested. I am invested. That's... Come on. Maybe this wasn't the best camera. But... yeah, okay. Never mind. Oh, that was the right camera to go to. Kufurl gets taken down by Domper right behind him. So that's going to be Manny and Kufurl both down. But the Chuck Suzuba was popped at some point there as well, so that is equalized Uber, but I think Croatia are going to be able to take the A point here. They have got enough presence onto here. They have a demo man to spam out the point, and I think from the outlines I can tell that Austria are just going to decide to defend B, which is a much stronger defense anyway. And Domper got past again. Is he just just standing up there? This is a reasonable defense from Austria. They pulled out just in time. They knew not to defend A. And again, both teams have really liked this wraparound through E to attack B play, and it's kind of worked for everyone. Let's watch what Chucks doesn't actually have Uber right now, but if they get enough pressure in here, they're going to kind of draw players out a bit. But Chucks almost has Uber if they work fast now. They are hanging out right next to spawn, and Chucks drops to Muku's rockets. That was the wrong place to stand, so that entire confrontation has been nullified. So it just looks like Croatia are going to want to count their losses and oh man, just yeah, eat your sandwich. Flagsy just get taken down as well as Domper. Sentry is level 3 on B right now, and that's gonna be set up in quite a... See, this corner is being given free to the Croatian team on offense, which I'm not sure I agree with. And what is that Pyro doing at the far back there? I could tell his silhouette. But Private Matter is watching the back here to make sure no one does that, and if anyone comes out the back, he can just air blast them in. There was a bit of point presence there, but nothing too significant. It's pretty good defense from Austria so far. Oh, but Matt Krieger is getting kind of forced out by Flagsy. A little bit stuck for a while here until he can do something better, but he's with his soldier, so he has a bit of defense for himself anyway. And this looks like a pretty good push for the Croatian team. Chucks has his Uber, he's going to pop it, they're going to take down Flagsy, or Matt Krieger even. They're going to take down quite a few players, and this looks like they've got the right positioning to make this push work. They've already got someone capping B, and presumably a scout, yep, being pressured by the medic, putting, like making some players move to defend E instead of B, and already the combo of Croatia are at C. I really like this. They've already got the spawn camps, they've already got the positioning way before the Austrian team could react, and they occasionally have people putting pressure on E. So that is great work from the Croatian team, much better than they did in the first round. And getting all of the bases locked, and it doesn't even look like Austria are deciding to defend this very much, or they couldn't. They're just pulling back to D even, so they're going to have to defend D and E in just 5 minutes. Croatia knew that C was the biggest hold time, so they just decided to get there before the enemies did, which is really simple but really effective. Which is something you have to keep in mind. But Croatia kind of stuck in this hallway now, and they have to go all the way through this little choke to get somewhere. They pop the Uber, and Kufeld is just keeping his for now. Now they're going to pop, they're going to get the better Uber out of this because they're going to be able to take down so many more players, but they are just ignoring this dome man up here. He's going for the Uber saws. He's not going to get them. He does. Kufeld does get taken down by Flagsy. But it seems like an okay defense, actually, but that is Chuck's getting taken down by Payne. So a lot of players only going to respawn in 10 or 20 seconds, but I think this is still pretty good for... oh, Juki gets taken down by Manny. I love engineer kills. Vextre's got his big sentry up here. He's got the teleporter as well. That's going to really help out his team. And I'm not being sarcastic, I genuinely mean it. Winesy is going to get found and taken out, but E-point is being solidly capped. This is something that's extremely viable once you've capped C. They're just putting so many people on... come on, let me free cam. So many people on E that it's impossible, especially with all of these kills that they've got, unless Winesy can do something amazing, which he can't. That is going to be a round going to Croatia. Well deserved. GG, they're calling. GG? I think I missed a thing. I'm sorry, but I missed a thing. Good half. Ah, okay. candle is on my side. So, I don't know. I'm confused. My voice hurts. Muku has his stuff as well as HP. GM?
Mission begins in 30
Bad?
seconds.
Yes. Oh, it's changing to Bad War in 90 seconds. Okay, I did mess up. However, I'm not going to cast the rest of it because I hurt. So, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry that I got the order out of order, but blame the ETF2L demo upload style thing. It's useful, but it's not perfect. That is, I will tell you the results because it just ended in a half-half for Croatia and Austria. I don't remember which team won which because I missed a third of the action, I think, from that one. Unless Croatia won both. Did Croatia win both? Yes, Croatia did win both, and never mind what I said about missing something. So, Croatia won Steel, and Austria won Badwater, and it was a half-half in the end. I'm going to see you later, because my voice really hurts. Sorry for being long-winded and whatever, and oh man, has it been in the wrong thing for this entire duration? I really hope not. I should... Okay, I'm just doing some maintenance. Okay, bye.